I just want to wish everybody a good morning and happy new year to you. It's really hard to believe. I can't believe it's already 2023. The last few years have just seemed like a blur to me. So 2023 is it's just a surprise that it's already here. So I want to take a look though at the polls. I want to see what you guys are all thinking about. Let's share those results. Where you're going to be putting your resources. So this is interesting. So a lot of you are looking at increased advertising. And this is kind of some of the trends I'm curious to hear, or maybe you'll share with us what that means to you, how you're going to be advertising, what vehicles you'll be using. So that will be interesting to hear. Product expansion. So maybe you're looking at adding some new products to your portfolio. We can certainly help you out with that here at Navitor as well. So lots of good things, a little bit of everything going on there. So thanks for sharing those with us. I really want to, thank you though for joining us today, making us a part of this jumpstart into the new year. Navitor is really committed to providing you with the information and the tools you need to succeed in the marketplace. And these workshops that we offer are really a continuing effort, part of that effort. My name is Jill Kennedy. I've been with Navitor for over 15 years now, and I've worked mostly with the sales and marketing teams on initiatives like this, bringing you some more information to help you be a little bit more prepared as you go out to your customers. It's been long enough that I've been with this company to see some of these trends that we've had come, and go, and then they're kind of coming right back around again. So it's always fun to watch that happen. As we were mentioning, I know some of you were at the ASI and the PPAI shows. Hopefully you were able to stop by our booth and say hello. Stephanie, as we said, was at ASI. So maybe you were able to pop in and say hi. We had some folks at the PPAI show as well. And your brains are probably still just kind of buzzing with those ideas that were generated there. As we mentioned, it was very busy, lots of suppliers, lots of distributors there. And I'm sure you're ready to take them all back to your customers. And we really want to build on that today, build on that momentum and keep those ideas flowing. So in that spirit, please use the chat, use the Q&A functions, give us your thoughts, interact with us, pose some questions, give us feedback, let us know if you think we're right, if you think we're wrong as we go through these trends. So we'll also have about 15 minutes of Q&A after the presentation, and we'd love for you to stay with us. We'll have some great discussion there as well. And we are recording this, so we'll be sharing that recording with you a little bit later today, and you'll have it then to refer back to as we go. Today, just a little bit about our agenda. We are going to be peering into 2023, and we're going to take a look at some of the trends that the experts are predicting. Your customers really are the drivers of these trends, and being aware of what is happening in design, in marketing, and really in the industry as a whole is going to give you an inside track on their decision-making process. Gives you a little bit more ammunition as you go out there and do your prospecting. So that's really our goal today. With that, I do want to introduce you to our guest presenters. I have Chelsea Zimprich. We were just talking a little bit earlier about this, but Chelsea's been a graphic design specialist with us for over 7 years now, and she is really incredibly talented and one of the masterminds behind that refreshed look on Navitor.com that we were talking about. Thanks, Chelsea, for being here.
Hi, Jill. Thanks for having me. Yes, Navitor.com is certainly making moves. The updated homepage is just the first of many that we're planning on making on Navitor.com. We're hoping to make it more user-friendly, ADA compliant, and to align more closely with our brand. So be on the lookout for a survey that's going to be coming on Navitor.com in the coming weeks, so we can hear your feedback on the site. So we're really, really excited about this initiative. And thanks, Jill.
Yeah, absolutely. It is super exciting and it looks great. Great work, by the way. So next we have Stephanie Drago, who is our VP of Marketing. And Stephanie is going to be bringing that vast experience that she has and the knowledge to discuss those trends. You do have the vast to discuss those trends in marketing. Don't laugh. Sorry. We're so lucky to have her here. We're just, it's the best. So thanks, Stephanie. Welcome.
Thank you, Jill. No, that was really nice of you. I'm really excited to be here. I'm seeing some of the chats come through about the homepage, so we're excited to see that you guys like the new look. So we're definitely put a lot of thought into that. I think it really reflects better who we are and how we can help members like you. So so excited about that. I do have a joke for you. So since we're going to be talking a little bit about marketing trends here, social media is going to come up in my section. So what is a social media marketer's favorite snack?
Well, I've heard it, so I'm not going to say. Let us know.
I'll just give you the answer. It's Instagram crackers.
Like, yeah, that's like dad jokes 101 there. You know? Put it in the file. See,
All right,
thanks, Stephanie. That was, we needed that to spark things up here a little bit. So thank you for that lightening things up there. And want to introduce to Harris Mailman. He's with us today. Harris is an account executive. He does look a little different than his photo, right? A new look to him. We're loving it. But Harris works primarily with the distributors on a daily basis. And, he really brings such a great perspective and the personal experience from those interactions. So he'll be talking about the industry trends today. Welcome, Harris. Appreciate you being here.
Yep. Appreciate it as well. It's great to be here. Looking forward to talking about the trends. And there's a lot going on with the industry and within our customers' industries that will be exciting to discuss.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So we really do have a lot to cover today, and I want to get right to it. So we're going to turn it over to Chelsea to let us know what's happening in the design world. But it sounds kind of like we're getting started in the 70s today, huh, Chelsea?
Yes. The 70s look and feel is totally back. So flat retro design is all about that peace, love, and bold, bright colors. So add in some flashy illustrations, some trippy gradients and patterns for even more retro nostalgia. We're expecting to see a lot of use with gradients from water marbling to bleeding ink. And our holographic raised foil lends itself perfect for this trend, as its iridescent oil slick nature is that perfect natural gradient. We're also expecting to see a lot of use in gradients to be huge in packaging. So this design style offers a unique appearance to those matching product lines. And Navitor offers brand new gradient style templates for our flexible packaging and folded cartons. So you can check those out in our design configurator, and they are ready for you to pop in your customer's logo and their product information too. So those are really exciting.
So Chelsea, so those are available actually on navitor.com right now then?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if you go into that product line and click design or create your product, they will pop right up, and there's a whole bunch of different colors and styles out there. So, and they match between the flexible packaging and the folded cartons. So if they have two different product lines, that's perfect.
That's awesome to have some of those pre-designed. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Cool.
Absolutely. Thanks. Especially on those more complicated products.
Yeah, sure.
But now, so back to this. So for members, sticker books, like from when you were a kid. So I just missed out on this trend. But I do remember looking through my brother's sticker books, and I was just so drawn to like all the different shapes and characters and stocks. I mean, like come on, scratch and sniff. Like that's like the best thing ever. Like So, but if you're like me and you missed out on collecting those stickers yourself, your chance is here again, because stickers are hot. From collecting travel stickers to put on your water bottle, which is like totally something I've been doing, to adding stickers as thank yous to your product orders, or companies are creating just really unique labels to promote their business. Stickers are back, and that's something to just keep an eye out on. And then lastly, bringing back the 70s is combining and experimenting with photography, texture, illustrations, and bold typography. This year, we're expecting to see a lot of layering of, like photography over cut paper, or photography with different types of texture over top of it, or even flat illustrations in combination with 3D rendered drawings. So if your customers are looking to bring a bit of texture to their printed materials, look to suggest raised print. This printing is called thermography, and it creates a unique raised texture wherever the ink sits on that stock. So this process would look great when it's applied to a screen printed style of texture, or anything that's grungy that has like ink splatter. Those small flecks raise off the stock and create a really unique tactile experience for the user.
Okay.
And now moving into the next trend, we have typography. So typography is going to be a very unique area this year, moving out of that standard sans serif typeface that we're used to seeing. So like Helvetica is on everything, right? So now we're moving into that serif font. So these serif fonts, though, aren't your standard run-of-the-mill Bodoni or Garamond or Times New Roman that we would typically see in those very professional settings. We're looking at taking a serif font and adding an artistic flair by manipulating the font and creating ligatures and swashes that are specific to the word itself. So for example, if you take a look at your screen, the text there, Lifestyle Divas, that is a very unique serif typeface. It uses the standard crossbars, yet it incorporates a softened flourish to each end of the letters. And it also includes very precise ascenders and descenders on the D and the Y to give that copy a softer, more feminine feel. So this type of style will be particularly popular in retail industries, such as in cosmetics or in boutiques too.
So Chelsea, another question for you.
Yeah.
Those particular fonts, are they available can people purchase those fonts? Is it something that's readily available, or is that something that has to be custom designed?
That would be more of a custom design thing. Think of it more as a word mark rather than something that you can just type out in Word or in Google Docs, something like that. So this would be designed by a designer typically. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. And then this year, going with that design trend, we're really diving deep into the creativity with distorted and custom typography. And really that's what this is. So this typography is going to be more of a one-time use type style, and it's created to evoke an emotional response to that specific message. So this typography might be stretched or twisted, contain unexpected elements, or even different opacities within the type. And it may make you look twice at it. You don't quite know what it says right away. And it just makes the user spend a minute or two more just kind of admiring that artistry of the typography. So we expect to use this type treatment on single-use printed materials. So that includes posters and postcards. And this eye-catching design style, it's really sure to hold that attention of the viewer, which means more time spent soaking up your customer's brand, and that's exactly what we want, right?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and then moving into the last one here, we have 3D design. So with the metaverse's view of the world now and using technologies augmented and virtual reality, we are going to see an abundance of 3D graphics from ultra realistic to subtle additions of shading. Today's graphics really push the limits of what was once considered unimaginable. Like if anybody has played video games recently, we know how realistic those animations can be. Like at a glance, it's really hard to tell. Is that a photo? Is that a video? Is that real? Or is it generated in a program? So in 2023, we're looking to see 3D design take front stage in emerging trends, but not just in that realistic fashion. With the rise of play-looking 3D designs, we will see the balance of perfection with imperfection. So this design trend has bumpy, creased surfaces that looks as if it were plastic clay molded by hand. It evokes a sense of play and exploration and experimentation. Play design styles are sure to be sticking around, not just in the design world, but also in pop culture. We're seeing that the movie Chicken Run, if you remember that from back in the day, that is hitting theaters again in November of this year with its sequel. And then we've been seeing this ongoing trend of homemade polymer clay jewelry that has really swept across Etsy in the fashion world.
Yeah, I was going to say too, Chelsea, you mentioned, thermography before, and I think that reminds me kind of clay too, when you have that bumpy texture and stuff. I think that might be another good way to explore that trend. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, if your customers are looking for that clay texture, that you're right. Yeah, thermography is a perfect example of that. And then moving into our next 3D trend, we have the resurgence of the 1980s Memphis style. So it is back with its bold, bright colors, patterns, and geometric shapes, but this time it's all in 3D. So this can be found in the design world, but also particularly in video and in animation, we'll really see this trend come through. So how can you tie these design trends back to the print industry, which, it's typically pretty flat, right? That's what print is flat. But a simple nod to 3D would come from embossed finishes. This printing process provides a three-dimensional feel with, the raised appearance and texture of that embossed area. And then that can be used on business cards, presentation folders, or announcements. And then you could think of adding a bit of extra height to add that three-dimensional area too, which we can do that with our extra thick stocks or multi-loft stocks like Color Core. And those can be used on business cards or postcards. So overall, these design trends will be hitting the scene this year. Maybe you've already seen them, but yeah, so next up we have Stephanie, and she will take you through the trends in marketing.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Chelsea. So 2023 marketing trends. I just think this is such an exciting topic because change is just happening so fast here. So I'll share some of the trends with you, and just like Chelsea did, we'll talk about some of the ways you can capitalize on them as well. So the first is short form video. Personal story here, I just remember a few years ago when my then 12-year-old daughter was telling me all about this crazy platform where you watch short videos and learn dances, which we may or may not have attempted. It was hilarious and terrible, and never look up my TikTok, please. But we actually had a lot of fun with it. But that was my first introduction to TikTok. And so if you're kind of newer on the TikTok front, it is definitely a growing trend. So short form video, definitions wise, is just under 15 seconds typically, but definitely under a minute. This is blown up across Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. And in fact, 80% of all mobile traffic now is driven from these shorts. So that is really impressive. And where it applies to you is kind of an interesting way. So in our surveys we have 20,000 reseller members, just like you guys here on the call today. And what you guys have reported back is your number one goal is reaching new audiences. And beyond that, it's not just new audiences, it's younger audiences. So the folks under 40. And so why do shorts matter? Because the folks under 40 are the primary viewers and creators of this type of content. So this is where you can reach them when you're trying to build your own business. So if you haven't tried one yet, to try to capitalize on some of this is not going to be that difficult. So if you're a little bit scared, simple things to do is download the darn app and then just start searching cool ways to start TikTok. Great first TikTok videos. Search stuff like that and start seeing what trends are out there that you could try. As I've worked with people who are starting these new kinds of campaigns, I like to say that you don't need a movie star. You don't even need to have humans in your video or voice. That is harder to do humans. So start easy. Try unboxing videos, scan your product displays. You can kind of do a pan over that. Use the music from that platform, and that'll help get your feet wet. Using people in video is very difficult. A lot of marketers will talk about being authentic and authenticity in general. That sounds really easy because you feel very genuine, but the way it comes across on the screen can come across very inauthentic. So think of people as sort of a phase 2 and upgrade as you get more comfortable. You can also check out, we started a new TikTok page with FolderWorks. It's super cute. There's a lot of satisfying ink videos and blooper reels. It's really a cool page. Lots of cool information there too. So that's a fun one to check out. The last tip then with short form video is to try the advertising function. So once you've had a couple of videos, trust me that these platforms want you to spend money. So they're going to start popping up with boost or advertise now, give it a try, that kind of thing. You'll see these buttons popping up. You can just do $10, a campaign, 10-mile radius, and just give it a try. See how it goes, see what engagement you get, and see if you like that and kind of engagement, which leads to my second major trend. So Jill's going to start a start a poll for us. And then I'll kind of share the results in a couple of minutes here. So the second trend then, while that poll is going, is vocal for local. Marketing can get really overwhelming. That's what I've found over the years is just there's so many options, so many opportunities. So you really need to narrow it down to one platform and start advertising there and start local. Number 2 then is micro influencers. This is a really interesting new trend. We think of influencers as big celebrities, but micro influencers are not necessarily social stars in their own right. But they might be just recognizable in your community. Maybe they're recognizable in the schools or in the healthcare system, maybe in the business world, whatever that community is that you're trying to target. So give them some free swag, give them pizza, whatever it might be, or I don't know. So give them something. Have them come by and try on that new shirt, try on that, or try unboxing those business cards, that kind of a thing, to just kind of get used to the idea of bringing in a micro influencer. And why this is important, not just that micro influencers can really help out your videos, but remember how I was talking about how resellers want to prospect more with the under 40 folks? Well, the under 40 folks actually trust micro influencers more for product recommendations than they do their own friends and family. That's more so than the other generation. So keep that in mind, that this is a really good tactic as you start to get more and more comfortable with this sort of form. All right, let me look at the poll. I'm going to share some of the results yet. So it looks like social media is that your presence, we've got about a third of you who really haven't tried it yet, but are interested. Some of you are reposting others' content. That's a really good way to get started, start getting used to the platform. And because you probably have a personal side on the platform, and then you have a business side. Getting used to that, looks like the majority of you are kind of at that stage. That's a really good way to start. And then it looks like some of you are starting to create and post your own content. And a couple of you even have dedicated people for social media. So that's pretty cool. All right, so quite a lot of variety here. All right, so I'm going to go to the third marketing trend. And this is probably my personal favorite. I really geek out on getting driven by the data. And there's two sides of data. There's one that is driven by the data that's your data, and then others that's the macro data out there. So we're going to kind of help with the macro data. So a couple cool nuggets: 80% of buyers prefer being contacted by email. Email and phone together then are the most powerful conversion tools. So make sure to use both when you're prospecting. Another one is just each platform has optimal times for posting and engagement. So for example, if Facebook is Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. is the best time to post, where you'll get the most engagement. And with Twitter, it's Tuesday through Thursday from 1 to 3. So just kind of interesting nuggets that just help optimize what you're already doing. And last then, I have the #1 most downloaded Navitor tool. So I know someone was asking up there in the chats about what tools do you get as a member with Navitor. This is a really good one, and I'll add the link in a second here. But this is called the Outreach tool. And this is like 30-40 pages full of tips like this, that macro data that helps you optimize your prospecting campaigns. I'll throw it in the chat and you guys can kind of look that over as well. All right, Harris. So those are my hottest trends. So now I'm going to pass it over to you for the industry trends. Harris.
Thanks, Stephanie. Great job. And good morning, everyone. First, want to thank you for taking the time with us today, especially at a crazy time of the year. And, you know, I pause, I think to myself, isn't it great that we're busy in our industry? You know, look at where we've been over the last, look where we've been over the last 3 years, right? It's so refreshing to say that, you know, although there's some still some supply chain issues, you know, life just seems kind of normal. You know, our clients are on planes, trains, and automobiles again. Thank you, John Candy. I hope everyone's seen that. Hope everyone's seen that movie.
Oh yeah.
So now we've been through a pandemic. What seems to have changed permanently? Well, as we all know, many offices have been shut down, from the 2 to 3 person office to those that have their own street name. I work for one of those companies. At the very minimum, businesses have absolutely reduced office space, many of them. There were some findings that many employees were just as more productive at home. In fact, in a Forbes.com survey, 73% of employees said that they needed a greater incentive than currently offered to return to the office. Yet, why are there still some supply chain shortages? Well, it turns out companies still need print. This leads me to start off here with the first trend being customers are buying the products they bought before the pandemic. We at Navitor, we're seeing our core offering being purchased aggressively and very close to pre-pandemic numbers. Our core offering being corporate ID, marketing materials, post-it notes, folders, and labels, and some others. What a great time to set up a call and at least email customers that stopped printing with you during the pandemic and ask them for some lost business back. Now, sure, some may have phased out that print, but perhaps new print is available. Maybe your customers have rebranded. Maybe there were some job title changes and some different purchasers in the organization that you should definitely go ahead and introduce yourselves to. And for those customers that have gone back to the office, those signs, right? Those social distancing signs, and we hate hearing social distancing signs. They need to be replaced with some new signs, right? Some new verbiage. And in addition, because C-suite leaders now know that they need to incentivize employees to return to the office, there's a lot of investment in their offices: ergonomic furniture, food, activities, gyms, and so much more. And I've been there in one of my jobs. When I visited customers locally, I found myself having a lot more fun in the newer, hip, kind of millennial offices. I loved it. So let's move on to what's going to happen in out there this year in the world. What are some predictions? And we'll begin with those. What are your customers doing now that are going back to pre-pandemic, right? What a great opportunity to present pocket folders, some training manuals, as many companies are now going back to in-person trainings, right? Since everyone is now open, have they turned back on their marketing budget to send direct mail and every door direct mail? Maybe customers are now attending trade shows again, like the ones we just had. So a great opportunity for flyers, brochures, and promotional items. And what are your customers now doing? Maybe there's some new initiatives. Are they hiring more salespeople who need business cards and marketing materials? For any and all of these scenarios, it's a great time to reach out and see what your customers are doing. So let's dive into the unfortunate continuing trend, which is supply chain issues that have hit us all, right? They're still here in our world. And although things are getting better, we don't see them completely going away anytime soon. So the more flexible your customers are, the better their lead times are going to be. While there's not much we can do about supply chain issues on the paper side, there's always ways we can deal with it. There's always things that we can do, whatever we can do. And large vendors, including Navitor, do have more buying power and access to stocks. Secondly, large vendors do have alternative stocks on the floor, printed and delivered fast. So with climate change being a hot button topic at the forefront of many business decisions, these companies are looking for ways to go green. Now, unfortunately for us, let's be real, many have discontinued print items, but it's opened the door to more print on demand items rather than the traditional offset runs and warehousing solutions that we were offered for decades. These clients are choosing to now knowingly pay a little more per item to go green, to maximize the limited warehouse space they have and peace of mind knowing that they won't be responsible for large amounts of paper inventory. Now, POD is extremely important with labels and custom packaging solutions. One thing I think we all have learned in the last couple of years that can change, that change can happen whether or not we intend it to happen. For instance, here's a food manufacturer. They could print 2 million labels, take delivery on a Friday, only to find out 2 weeks later they missed a disclaimer. And here we got 1.99 million labels that are recycled and one very unhappy, dissatisfied customer. There's nothing we can do about it. So with print-on-demand solutions, the risk would be almost eliminated. And since print on demand is mostly digital, your customers would check off a Go Green initiative as digital printers reduce waste and use less chemicals. So let's move on to the verticals we should be going after this year. What markets are expected to boom? So as interest rates rise and housing prices are still very high, consumers are choosing to invest in their home. Great news for Home Depot, Lowe's, other home remodeling businesses, construction companies, plumbers, general contractors, landscapers, home entertainment companies. Every door direct mail comes to mind, and targeted direct mail. They tend to be a big winner for the small contractors. Now, with oil and other fossil fuels all over the place these days, solar companies continue to make their mark as one of the things that we can bank on every day is the sun coming out. These green companies need to market their capabilities to homes and businesses in any way they can. Think yard signs, car magnets, car wraps, promo items, posters. And finally, expect health and wellness to continue to grow a ton. It used to be that you have this basic gym with treadmills, bikes, and weights. Now there's these new niche fitness concepts that are making a big splash in the marketplace, which is keeping memberships more competitive than they used to be. So indoor, outdoor signage, such a big need for these folks. Mergers, acquisitions in the healthcare industry continue to take place. Pharma needs to communicate these changes, and I believe a great need for major direct mail projects. So with mergers, rebranding will almost certainly occur, and it's very important to make sure that you keep in touch with these small pharma companies to make sure that you retain the business that you already have. So the final thing I want to talk about here is a trend that I've seen over my professional experience, not just in the last couple of years, but over probably a span of 10 years, which I like to call the many hats professional. Customers, and I'm sure many of you on the webinar, wear many hats than you used to earlier on your career. How many purchasers have you spoke to that do HR, and they do operations, they do purchasing, they do project management, and they run the office? This is the world we live in, and you'll find really you'll find this so much in smaller to smaller, medium-sized businesses, and we need to help these folks. The way we can help them is to make their online ordering, ordering easier by switching to online ordering. So eStore Solutions is a great way to do that. It's a triple win all around. It's easy for the supplier, it's easy for your customers, and it's really easy for you. Who wants to sit there and typeset business cards and then send an email to a vendor? Don't want to do that, right? It's much easier to sit back, collect the margin dollars, and it's definitely a conversation that we would love to have with you here at Navitor with one of our account specialists, just talking about our eStore offering. So with that being said, I know we're a little over. I'm looking forward to 2023. Can't believe it's 2023 again, like Jill said.
I know it.
2023.
You want to say 22, don't you?
Oh yeah. I made countless errors. Look forward to the year being a great year for you all and for our industry. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Harris. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, you mentioned the print on demand and the technology and all of that. And I just want to put in a quick plug for our next webinar, which will be in March. We're going to be talking about all things technology and what our offer is for you that you can use to help make your lives easier and increase those revenues, which is really what it's all about. So thanks everybody for today. I know we are at time. We are going to stay on for another 15 minutes or so just to answer any questions that you may have, discuss some of these trends that you've seen. If you can't stay with us, I understand, and we want to thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Like I said, we are committed to providing you with the tools you need. So as you leave the webinar today, could you please just fill out the survey? Let us know what you think. Let us know what we can do to help you further. That would be fantastic. Thanks all. And with that, I mean, let's just kind of hop right in and get to our questions. And
I got a few, Jill, ready for you.
You got some? I realized I'm going to launch a poll too. So if any of you are still on, I want to get your feedback on some things. So I'm just going to go ahead and relaunch that. So
I'll start us with the questions then while Jill's doing that.
Yeah.
So the first question that we got is, what tools do we have to share with end customers of our resellers to provide these cool ideas to their marketing plans? So we have a couple of different things. So links that we're giving you here today, like that will, I should say that we will email you this afternoon. We'll include the slides here for this deck. So you can use any of this as your own, just replace it with whatever, your company name and all that good stuff. So the whole deck, you can use that as whatever you'd like. Something like the outreach kit is intended for distributors only, not really an end customer thing. So that one's really just for you. But we have tons of materials. Almost all that we produce is actually for your end customers that you can rebrand as your own, or just use as an unbranded version. It doesn't say Navitor anywhere. So lots of different things like that. Harris, you're working very closely with customers. You want to call out any one of your favorite pieces that distributors usually like?
I think that it's important to understand that the overall, though, the concept of we can do it for you. We've been helping our customers for so long with anything that they really need. I would say our catalog, honestly, Stephanie, it's like with the shows, the trend kits that we have just really pop at the shows. So
sample kits and so on.
Yeah, I would say the sample kits, but just know that we can help you overall.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah, I've got a couple of comments in here of like vertical market packets, the sample packs and stuff like that. Those are really popular. So we definitely have all sorts of new ones. So we do have new ones, Angela, to one of your questions there. I'll grab that link and I can insert that here too for you. Okay. The next question is, does Navitor produce flexible packaging products internally or do we outsource? So I don't know, I guess I could take that one, or Chelsea, I guess you want to take that one probably. Go ahead.
Yeah. We do produce them internally. Yep. So those are all produced at one of our facilities, actually in Mankato. So yeah. And then there are a variety of the sizes and everything that are and stocks. There's a lot of features and options to those too. So there's hang holes, you get to choose what you want, zipper, notches, everything. So it's a really cool product. And yeah, there's marketing materials out there for that as well. There's yeah.
And I want to add just
Yeah.
a quick plug for Navitor. Everybody on the call, most 99%. Everything that you see on Navitor.com, we produce in-house. We do not source.
Yeah. Correct. All right. And then I just put the links in there too, so you guys can see there's 2 different kinds of sample kits. So one is for members only, and there's lots of different varieties. So Angela, I think you were asking about those. And then if there's any non-members here today who's just considering membership, I've got a couple there that you can jump in on too. All right. Our next question then is, would you, I would love to see if printers and graphic designers have seen a boost, I assume in revenue, with the print on demand, if you have that data, and especially like cost per month for smaller companies. So Harris, I'll pass this to you kind of about the company e-stores there.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if Angela was talking about print on demand or e-stores, but what I don't think we have the like necessary specific data, but what I can tell you is I have unfortunately witnessed a lot of warehousing programs being eliminated over the last 5 or 6 years, just because the inventory that the customer that you know that we had, not Navitor, but the company I was with before, we had to throw it out. We had to recycle it. And so there was a buyback and everything like that. So it's more along the lines of making sure that when we're looking at large offset runs and warehousing is an option, is really just making sure that we qualify the customers really well. Hey, how many times have you changed logos? How many times have your branding guidelines changed? Really making sure that if they're going to print in large quantities, that they measure that risk. And then you'll find that there's a lot of customers that are willing to pay more just in that conversation, by telling them, look, there's risks here and then they're pretty big. So you'll find that there's a lot of customers that are willing, that accept that, and they appreciate the honesty, they appreciate the knowledge, and they will tend to pay more for digital or lower runs, smaller runs.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, this one is going to Chelsea. What are good print finishes for photo art for announcements, for example, that make the art pop even more? You had mentioned some textures, so Chelsea is going to be the expert here. There's so Chelsea, good luck.
Yeah, no, photography is great when we're doing obviously full color, and then we also really would like to, I would suggest it on more of a coated stock. And then also with UV gloss over top of it is going to make it's just going to make the colors of the photography just bounce off the page. Like, it's so nice. And then if you have any, depending on the photography, spot gloss is great too, because it will really pull out whatever element you want to focus on in that photo. It'll have a nice sheen right over top of it. So I would say personally, I think the coated stock with a UV gloss over top is the way to go for photography printed materials.
Perfect. Thank you. Anybody else have any other suggestions? Harris, Jill?
No, I mean, I agree. I was thinking the same thing when you were saying, with the spot gloss and stuff. I know we've done some materials too, just, marketing materials for you all, that's where you could just really call out, like with the spot gloss, we use photography, or an image, but then made it look textured like a wood table with adding that spot, the spot raised gloss. I mean, you can really we did like a steam kind of look, with doing some spot gloss kind of things. So there's really some creative things that can happen there when you start using those embellishments.
Well, and Chelsea, like with the enhanced finishes, you can have like levels. Is that kind of what you're talking about with the steam? Like you can have I forget how many levels there are, Chelsea, but it's not just one level and that's like your
Mhm.
rates. Like there's actually
Right.
like subtle almost gradations that you can have in the height, right?
Yes, yes. So we can do just a plain flat spot gloss that doesn't have any height. And then if you were to add in another spot on that same piece, the raised gloss, it gives a very unique just visual to it. You can really call out different areas in different ways. And when the light hits it certain ways, they're just so cool. That's the best way to
For
describe.
certain,
Like,
yeah,
it's
you can
really
create
unique.
even textures if you just have
Yeah.
certain spots, you know, that have the
Yes.
raised on it. You could, just
Mhm.
create that textured kind of
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Cool. Oh my God, I love this stuff. This is like the really edgy stuff. Love it. Thank you. All right. We have a question coming back to marketing tools. So do you have free tools or what is the cost there? So I can probably hit this one first. So yes, our tools are free. They're downloadable. There's digital, there's printed tools that you can get all for free. If you have, let's say, a samples kit that you want, and maybe you want 10 of them or 15 of them, we do start having a price there for some of those costs. But we'll work with you. So let us know. I've had distributors, have big events and they want to give everyone a trends kit, for example, and really accent. So the trends kit is something that really accents community and inclusivity and diversity, for example. And they had an event that was really big for that. So they wanted our kit there with their name on it. And so they ordered 100 of them. So we can do that kind of a thing with you. Just, let us know and we'll work with you on the price. But otherwise, yeah, some of them do have a cost if you're ordering multiple copies of it. But otherwise tools are free.
Mhm.
Okay. That is all the questions I'm seeing. Jill, did you get any others?
I couldn't.
Oh, maybe I did get one more. So they were just asking about membership options for graphic designers. Harris, you want to take that one?
Sure. Where's the question? I'm sorry.
I can grab it first.
No,
and then
I
you
can.
Repeat
Is
the
it a question of
So
Navitor?
they're just asking about membership requirements, and they happen to be a graphic designer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I can answer it. Yeah.
Okay.
Membership is free as long as you are a reseller, and that would be including a graphic designer. So it's very easy to open an account. It's right on navitor.com. We could probably get you the link to take you right to that page, but very quick. It's a very short approval process. And it's actually, it's a really good time to say, I tell every customer this that I talk to, is all I do all day is talk to our clients. Navitor is, it says it all over the website, but I just like to say it, we are trade only. We do not sell direct. So you can feel free to talk to us about your client. Our Navitor will not sell to your client. We're not even able to. So we're just keep that in mind. Everything that you'll see on our site is wholesale. We are wholesaler only.
Yep. Yeah. We emphasize that, don't we? Yes, definitely. To the trade only.
Excellent.
You guys, I don't know. Do we have any more questions?
Nope, that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, I just want to know quick. We only have another minute or so, but just, what is your favorite trend that you saw? I mean, that you saw during this webinar today. So each of you guys, I could start. I like the clay trend. It kind of takes me back to those Play-Doh days. And, I didn't realize how philosophical clay could be when you talk about the possibilities and, forming your future kind of thing. So that was my favorite. I don't know, Chelsea, what about you?
Well, if I didn't show my excitement enough, like the whole sticker thing, I'm such a sucker. Like every time I go into somewhere, there's stickers. I'm like, oh, I better go look at those. So yeah, I've got a water bottle that's just covered. Totally stickers. Yep, that's me.
What about you, Harris?
Stickers.
Stickers.
We'll have to trade notes. We'll have to like.
You guys can start trading them. You can copy.
Yeah.
We'll mail them to each other.
There you go.
How about you, Stephanie?
My favorite trend, I have been totally getting into AI. It was kind of a TikTok thing accidentally and sort of stumbled into it in this chat GPT. I've been messing around there and just different things that you can do with things like Excel dashboards and data visualization. Like, I just think that's so important to be able to tell a story with data. So yeah, I've been kind of geeking out there. That's my favorite trend.
Awesome. Yeah.
The AI stuff is so cool too. Yeah. There's just so much.
Yeah. Jenna, you were asking about a local account representative. Why don't you send us your information? Just pop your information and we'll have someone get back to you to see what's up, and we can certainly help you out there. Just send us your info. You can also add it in the survey when you leave the webinar as well. So that's a good place to put that information if you don't want it out for the public. So awesome. Well, guys, here we are. It's 10:45. It looks like we finished her all up with the trends for 2023. It's a fun one. Again, thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you hanging on with us for these last 15 minutes to talk a little bit more about what we're seeing for trends in 2023. Be sure to join us the next time when we talk about technology. I know some of those questions came up about technology. So in March, watch for that and watch for the registration for that. If you are not currently registered with Navitor.com, please do so, because that will give you a lot of other benefits. You can also sign up for our newsletters, which is where you're going to learn more about some of these new things that we have, our new marketing materials, the free tools that we have for you, as well as when our webinars will be occurring. So just scroll down to the bottom of the page. When you get to Navitor.com, in the right-hand corner, you'll find a place where you can register for that. So I encourage you to do so. All right. Thanks so much again, everybody. Have a great day. Let us know how we can help, because we are absolutely here for you. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.